Yo, what's up, y'all? I hope y'all are doing good. It's your boy King Amo. You know, follow me on my socials, guys. Come on, man. Come show love on my Insta. Come follow the boy, man. Show the boy that y'all are here. I'm gonna put you guys on game today. I feel like a lot of homies be asking me like weird ass questions. Like the other time I was asked, bro, how do you approach women at the gym? Man, it's that simple, bro. You just don't. You know what I mean? You don't unless she's giving you choosing signals, right? Choosing signals are like when she looks at you a couple of times, more than three times, but you don't have to be staying at her the whole time and now you look creepy. Nah, three times and you shoot your shot. But for the most part, she gonna come close. You gonna see her. That's unless she does all that. But if she doesn't tick the box, don't approach women at the gym. So guys, I'm gonna put you guys on game today. So yeah, let's watch this shit. Let's watch this shit.
So in today's video, I'm showing you how to outsmart female manipulation and emasculation, and this is the exact guide. Be sure to take notes on this video because this is all going to come together and make sense, and I really mean this. The most important piece of this whole video I saved for the end, okay? Because after I show you these points, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to show you how to put it all together and why it has to be this way. And if you don't understand this last concept, these other points won't really make sense. Okay, so I really need you to stay with me in this video because I know that this will help you, because a lot of the beliefs that you've probably held around your relationship or your past relationships with women have probably failed you. So I'm here to help you implement new beliefs that will actually help you on your path and inside of your dating life. So let's dive in. Okay, first and foremost, we have to understand the prerequisite step to relationships. And the prerequisite step would be this. You have to understand proper dating dynamics.
Monday.com is the best AI for work. And here's why. Let me show you some of the mind-blowing things thousands of companies are.
You have to understand, Bachan. You have to understand.
In the first place, between the masculine and the feminine. And this is something that most men don't know. They don't learn, they don't know how to carry themselves until multiple relationships fail. And now there is emotional pain associated with the failure. So what they're able to do is actually reflect. I'm here to help you. Okay. The only reason that a relationship starts to end, okay, if she was with you and she liked your personality and she liked who you are and she was sleeping with you, the only reason that that comes to an end, or one of the only reasons that this comes to an end, is because you took on the traits of her, okay? You took on the traits of the feminine, causing her to act distant and take on the traits of the masculine. This is why. This is why things started to dissolve. So what happened was you became weak emotionally. You became a man who really started to need companionship. You probably stopped doing other things in your social life. You made a lot of time for her, and because of that, she no longer respected the time that she had with you. On top of that, you probably wanted excess communication. Okay? You're going to notice the boyfriend or the guy who she's with that always is able to see her or go out on dates with her that she wants to be with. This is the type of guy who's ignoring phone calls. This is the type of guy who isn't responding to text messages. And this is the type of guy who just doesn't really care. Okay? So you became weak emotionally. You became a guy who was needing companionship. You needed communication. And on top of that, you probably wanted to start spending all of your free time with her. Now, what did this do? This caused her to become distant. This caused her to tell you that she wants to focus on herself, and this caused her to think that you are now lower value, okay, in the relationship. So here's what happened, okay? The dynamic was reversed, and now she starts to open up new options. So that's the prerequisite. If you can understand that, you can start to learn what not to do. But I'm telling you this, and I'm being as serious as I can. You have to stay with me until the end because this column is super important, because I really believe that I'm going to illustrate something you've never seen before. Okay? So, how to outsmart female manipulation and emasculation step by step. This is the exact guide. Number 1, okay? Step 1. This is the most important piece, okay, of the steps. This isn't the most important piece of the video, which is at the end. This is the most important piece of the steps, okay? Always signal that you have had other women at or above her current level of attractiveness. Why? Because women are constantly looking at how you act, okay? So you could be a famous movie star or a famous musician, right? And the second that you start to act like this is the first time you've ever been on a date with a woman who is this attractive, you're going to watch her desire start to go down. So always signal that you have had other women at or above her current level of attractiveness. What are the 3 characteristics, or what are the 3 things that you have to look at to signal this? Well, you have to pay attention to number 1, your vocal tone, number 2, your body language, and number 3, your mannerisms. So I'm going to dive into each of these. Number 1, your vocal tone. Here's how you have to come across. You can't be too excited to see her. If your vocal fluctuation or your vocal tone fluctuates a lot, she's going to notice that you're overly excited. You also should attempt to have very little expression, okay? Especially the more you get to know her. Here's what happens is men do really good in the beginning to come across as, you know, a type of guy who has it together, or you can conceal your interest level, but over time, he starts to become something different. You want to really make sure that you have very little expression, because that expression is going to open you up to deeper level interest tests. Now, on top of that, your vocal tone needs to demonstrate that you are going to use fewer words than other men. So here's what I mean by that. If a woman is very attractive, most men will use 10 words in that sentence or in that text message when 5 or 6 would have done the job just fine. They over-communicate through added words that they don't need, which makes them actually over-communicate how much they like her. Okay, keep that in mind. So that's number 1. Okay, that's the first way to show that you have been with other women at or above her current level of attractiveness. Number 2, your body language. This can be summed up with just a couple key points. Here's what you're trying to show, okay? You're not thirsty. You're not trying to kiss and cuddle. And on top of that, okay, you are not always trying to initiate touch. Basically, what you're doing is you are keeping your hands to yourself at all times. Now, when you do this, she's going to have a question mark in her mind that says, does he like me? This is very important. Most guys, when they're really attracted to a woman, you always want to cuddle and you always want to kiss her, and that's why she doesn't like you, because now you're showing that you have not been with other women at or above her current level of attractiveness. Now, number 3, last but not least, is your mannerisms. You need to get used to not giving certainty if you will be around, okay? So if she says, hey, will you go to the mall with me on Saturday? You say maybe, okay? If she says, hey, we have dinner plans at 5 o'clock, can you be there? You say yes. And then Friday night when the dinner plans roll around at 3:45, you flake. And then last but not least, you don't give direct answers. If most guys would say yes or most guys would say no, you're going to be like, oh, sure. That'll work, sure. Okay? So what you're doing here is you're nonchalant, and your energy is going to demonstrate that you have been there, done that. If you demonstrate that you've already been there, you've already done that before, this isn't anything new for you, she's going to really like you. Okay, so that's the first step in outsmarting the manipulation that you will probably have happen to you if you're not aware of it. Now, number 2, never date only one woman at a time. Never date only one woman at a time. And I'm going.
This guy's wilding. But y'all, I hope y'all are taking notes. Don't date one girl at a time. I don't know, but we'll hear what he has to say, right?
I'm going to explain why. The reason being is because 1 is too close to 0. 2 is too close to 1. And 3 is about perfect to start with. I'm going to say that one more time. 1 is too close to 0. 2 is too close to 1. And 3 is about perfect to start with. So here's what you got to remember about women. Women copy what other women do. She's going to tell you things like, oh, you know, I decide who I like for myself. Okay, but what you have to remember is the main thing that she's deciding on is how many other women also find you attractive. So if you're dating only one woman, she goes, oh, well, this is his only option. Well, if nobody else wants him, I don't either. If no other women find him very attractive, why am I with him? This is what she thinks. You could have a huge bank balance. You could be very rich. You could have everything going for you. You can be high value. You can be high status. And you can be attractive physically, and you could be good looking. And she still won't like you. Because what's going to happen is you're going to signal that other women don't like you. Keep that in mind. She says, well, if nobody else likes him, I don't either. Okay? Here's what you're going to notice, okay? They think that something is wrong with you if they are the only one that you see. They will literally start to look at you and say, well, what's wrong with him? What's going on with him? Why does nobody else want him? Okay, keep that in mind. So competition typically will create jealousy and better behavior that she demonstrates towards you. So, number 2, never date only one woman at a time. Now, the third step in this, okay, is you need to remove all of the care and only focus on leading yourself. So you're going to hear a lot of content creators where they'll say, you need to be a good leader. You need to be masculine and show what a good leader you are. Okay, in order to do that in a relationship, do you know what that's going to require? Time, energy, and effort. Do you know what that's going to signal? Your interest level. You being willing to demonstrate masculinity shows that you're invested.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do whatever.
This was one of the biggest turning points for me in my own dating life. Okay? I'm going to say that one more time. You demonstrating masculinity automatically signals that you care. So stick with me here. You need to remove all the care and only focus on leading yourself. Life is way too short to try to spend time leading a woman. When you try to be a good boyfriend, you try to be a good companion, you try to be a masculine man, most of the time, okay, here's what will happen. When you try, most women will just take it as you showing interest and then doing the opposite just to piss you off anyways. And then here's what happens. I'll show you, okay? Other content creators will say, be a man and lead. Show that you are not a pushover. So you need rules and you need boundaries for how you want to live. Communicate what you want, okay? Or communicate what you consider to be disrespectful. So that way she knows that you have these boundaries. And here's what actually happens if you try to do this in real life. She goes, oh, wow, look at the man with big muscles get all frustrated. And she laughs at you. That's what happens. Because she's going to watch you actually care. And as she watches you care, she thinks it's hilarious that you're even trying to have this discussion in the first place. So, you will watch her chase a guy who doesn't care, who appears like he's super nonchalant and goes with the flow, doesn't try to lead anything. You will watch her, okay? You will watch her chase this type of guy who doesn't care at all. Okay, what she does year after year after year after year. He literally doesn't care what she does at all. She could be out at the club till 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. She could be out over here. He doesn't care if he doesn't hear from her for 4 days. He's just literally living, okay? That's the type of guy that she will consistently pursue and she will put effort into and she will show feminine characteristics to. For all of you wondering how to actually get good feminine characteristics out of women who are caring and nurturing and try to love you, this is how you do it. Okay? It's not by you being a good, stable, strong, masculine man, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. Long story short, here's what I'm trying to say. You need to lead yourself, okay, to your own purpose. You need to lead yourself to God, if you want to call it that, okay? And you need to specifically lead your own finances, because that way you sleep good at night knowing that you have you together. That's what you got to do. For every second that you spend trying to lead her or be a good man to show her that you're a good man, watch her take that kindness for weakness. Now, putting this all together, I told you in the beginning this was the most important piece, and I was very serious about it. So, this is a carry-on of point number 3, or this is going to stem into what I just talked about. For those of you who don't necessarily see what I'm talking about, I'm going to also show you my own real-life experience with this. So putting it all together, here's what you have to know. Any form of masculinity, any form of rules in the relationship that you would like, or order, hey, this is how things should be, or boundaries, hey, I think that that's disrespectful, so I don't want that kind of behavior. Anytime you have to verbalize any of this, listen to me very closely, any kind of protecting or providing at all will signal care. This is where most other dating coaches or content creators have not told you the full story with this. And part of me honestly believes it's because they don't have enough experience or as much experience with women as they try to show. These things, okay, when you demonstrate these things, masculinity, showing that you have backbone and you're not a pushover, all these things, here's what you have to understand. All of these things make you a good man. All of these things make you a strong man who has order in his own life. All of these things on paper technically make you a good man. But through your own practices or through your own testing in your own dating life, here's what you're going to find. Women don't like these men because they have revealed their interest level. So here's what it looks like, okay, when you do this right. I'm going to show you in just a second, but you really have to understand this. Women, a lot of times, will want to spend their time trying to change a man into making him better. They don't want a finished product right away. They want to spend their time showing and trying to teach a guy how to act and how to be a man. Okay, that's the man that they spend their effort and their time with. They don't want good men. They don't like good men. Good men get left. Okay, so just stick with me here. I'm going to show you what this looks like when you do it right. Okay, this is my own text message. Okay, and this is how little I actually care. So I'll put this up on the screen. It was 2 a.m, and this woman that I was seeing, I didn't ask her to check in or anything with me when she got home. She goes, "Baby, I'm getting home safe now in case you care," because I never even asked. Okay, then I didn't even reply the next day. I just put a heart on the message. Okay, I just like tapped the heart button. And then the next day she double texts and she says, "Honey, do you want me to take you to the airport?" Why? Because she can tell that I don't even care if she's at the club. I don't care if she's out at the bar. I don't care who she's meeting. I don't care. I don't care. Go do whatever you want to do. When I see you, I see you. If I don't hear from you for 6 days, that's fine. You come back to me when you're ready. That's the attitude, and that's the nonchalant attitude of the man.
Iliadin Aloe works fast to provide relief that lasts long for up to 12 hours. Try Iliadin Aloe today.
That she wants. They look at those men as stronger than the men who actually demonstrate real masculinity characteristics, because what she sees is she sees a man who isn't willing to demonstrate those things. So she questions her own beauty and she says, well, why doesn't he care? What do I have to do to get this man to actually act like a man? If I was hotter, would he demonstrate these things for a different woman? These are the subconscious thoughts that are going through her mind. You have no idea how long this actually took me to figure out. You have no idea how long this actually took me to discover. You have no idea how many mistakes I have made in my own dating life with woman after woman after woman for the past 10 years before I finally pieced this together. This was one of the hardest things that I have ever had to discover, and because of that, I want you to take this very seriously, because no one, in my opinion, has been actually looking at these concepts deeper than me over the past 10 years. Now, showing her your masculine traits is caring. She wants a project, okay, or a puzzle piece that she has to solve. She wants a man, okay, that she has to change, or a man that she has to teach how to be a better man and how to be a man in the first place. This is what she wants, and this is what she gravitates towards. So you'll notice first, okay, or you'll notice when you first see a woman, she doesn't necessarily instantly just start being nurturing and sweet, okay, and caring for you and trying to cook you a nice meal. She doesn't try to do any of that, okay? What she does is she withholds femininity. Women are so far ahead of most men when it comes to strategies in their own dating life, you have no idea. Women will typically withhold femininity and not do any of those things, because what she's going to do is she's going to say, he has to earn it. Well, how do you earn it? You earn it by doing everything completely opposite, because your logic is opposite to her emotions. And you would think that she would give all these traits: being nice to a man, cooking for a man, being sweet to him, trying to give him a kiss. You would think that she would do this to a strong, stable, masculine man, and then when you see this play out in your own life, it's completely opposite. She will only give that behavior to men who don't care and men who demonstrate virtually no masculinity characteristics to begin with, because all of those men who are trying to lead her and trying to be a gentleman and doing everything the right way, guess what happens? They're showing effort, they're showing consistency, and then she pulls away and she thinks that they have low dating value. That's what you're going to actually find in your own life. Yet men are so quick to try to show her, okay, or to try to show her how good he is and how masculine he is. This is the last 2 points I want you to start to put all together. I know that this is probably a big paradigm shift from your past beliefs, But here's what's going to happen. If you actually watch this play out in your own dating life, you will thank me later, because you're going to see that I've already made all of the mistakes, so that way you don't have to. Now, if you want to learn, understand, and master the language of women at an even deeper level,
I fam, we don't want your classes. We don't want your classes. But now I feel it, dog. I will feel it, dog. Are you cooked?